Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start episode 617 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Chapter 1058, I Don't Dare to Dream. What? The US actually disbanded? No way. It's true. And not just the US. Right after that announcement, 27 other countries followed and dissolved their governments too, joining the Earth Alliance. Most of them were small, weak countries, but still, that proves one thing. This Edward guy is not joking. Is the Earth Alliance really about to be established? What happens if you don't join? And seriously, who is this Edward? How does he have that kind of terrifying influence? In just a few hours, the internet exploded. Shock, panic, confusion. People around the world were left speechless. The global political landscape was changing way too fast. Even worse, Edward seemed to have full control over the military now. He didn't just take over the US. He had all their military bases, fighter squadrons, and even nuclear weapons. Oh, and let's not forget, over 2 million bio-enhanced super soldiers. Now the real question was, if some countries refuse to join the Earth Alliance, will he go to war? It's been over 70 years since World War II. Most of the world has gotten used to peace. If war breaks out now, it would be catastrophic. But Edward wasn't hiding his ambition. He didn't just want a coalition. He wanted total global unification. And with over 200 nations on Earth, most of them wouldn't just hand over their sovereignty. So what was he going to do? Give them a speech? Talk them into it? Please. That was never going to work. Only one path was left. Absolute military dominance. Then came a new wave of online rumors. Edward is actually the first chairman of Skull Society, a secret organization that's been manipulating global finance for years. Most of the world's major capital is tied to them. That super soldier serum? Yeah, that was their invention too. Skull Society is way bigger than we ever imagined. This Earth Alliance thing? It's been in the works for a long time. Some netizens took a different stance. Honestly, a united Earth might not be such a bad thing. The economy could boom. Tech could advance. But why does he get to be the one in charge? Exactly. Why not let someone from our country lead Earth? You expect to unify the whole world in 2 months. What a joke. Try 20 years, if that ever even happens. If he pulls it off in 2 months, I'll livestream myself eating sh*tea. Social media was flooded with analysts and armchair experts. Even with all this momentum, most people still didn't believe Edward could actually conquer the planet. Then the next day came. The Soviet Union, one of Earth's major powers, issued an official public statement. The Soviet Union does not recognize the Earth Alliance. We reject Edward, a masked clown, who dares to stir up trouble with his theatrics. Any attempt to threaten our national sovereignty will be met with force. This is your warning. We're ready for war. If you want war, you'll get war. Their stance was loud, clear, and brutal. A direct slap in the face to Edward and the Earth Alliance. But they could back it up. Even if the Soviet economy wasn't as prosperous as the US. Militarily, they were top tier, easily second place in the world. And when it came to warfare, the battle-hardened nation had earned its name. They weren't bluffing. Edward watched the global news feed, his lips curling into a cold, bone-deep smile. Well then, he muttered. Looks like these Soviets are itching to die. Of course, Skull Society couldn't wage war on the entire world all at once. That wasn't practical, and it wasn't necessary. They only needed to take down a few of the biggest holdouts. Once that happened, the smaller nations would fold on their own. All Edward had to do was prove that the Earth Alliance, under his command, could flatten any resistance. That would be enough. Send the order, he said. Assemble 500,000 enhanced soldiers. In 5 days, I want the Soviet Union taken down. Kill or capture every high-level official who refuses to join the Earth Alliance. We fight until they submit. His voice was calm, but his eyes radiated death. Chairman, one Skull Society executive said hesitantly, the Soviets have a reputation for being ruthless. If they resort to nuclear threats, the consequences could be disastrous. Edward's gaze didn't waver. You think I fear nuclear weapons? He said coldly. The unification of Earth is inevitable. Even if it requires sacrifice, it will be worth it. I've already prepared for the worst-case scenario. Even if nuclear war breaks out, nothing will stop the Earth from uniting. That very day, at a high-level Skull Society meeting. Edward delivered a fiery speech that stirred everyone's blood. He painted the cause as glorious, a mission for the good of all humanity. He spoke of legacy, of peace through unity, of a future where Earth stood proud among the stars. Every sacrifice, he said, would be for a better tomorrow. But deep down, Edward didn't care about humanity. Even if Earth was reduced to radioactive ash, he wouldn't lose a thing. If anyone dared to stop him from becoming Earth's ruler, he'd kill every last one of them. This time, Edward declared, I'll lead the army personally. Let these ignorant, foolish ants witness for themselves whether I'm qualified to rule this planet. He gave a cold snort. No one could challenge his will. And as his orders spread, hundreds of thousands of bio-soldiers mobilized. The world teetered on the brink of war. After the meeting, Edward stood atop a skyscraper, lighting a cigar and staring at the landscape below. His mind drifted to a certain figure, a radiant woman with an almost divine aura. Sigh, I wonder where the commissioner is now. She's a noble feathered one, a high-ranking officer of the Universal Bank. Her future is limitless. And I'm just a wandering vagabond in the cosmos. Lowborn, unworthy of even dreaming about her. Still, if I can become Earth's ruler and sell the planet for a good price, I'll be rich. Maybe rich enough to buy treasures that boost my racial talent. Then my power would soar. I might even stand a chance. He had to admit, he might be falling for her. She was noble, powerful, pure, unrealistically beautiful. How could he not fall for her? But the gap between them was vast. Chapter 1059, An Accidental Win. Strange. Where did that woman I bonded with yesterday come from? A level 20 powerhouse who's over 2,000 years old, and she openly admitted to being an alien? What's her real purpose? Other people might not believe Bai Yu11's words, but Qian Yuan did. The system never lies. By early morning, the news had exploded again. The global situation was shifting rapidly. The newly formed Earth Alliance was now on a collision course with the Soviet Union. War seemed imminent. All the other nations were holding their breath, watching. Edward, the first speaker of Skull Society, had declared that he would unify the Earth in 2 months. Coincidentally, Bai Yu11 also mentioned she'd remain on Earth for exactly 2 months. Was there a connection? Could Edward and this level 20 alien be secretly working together? Qian Yuan sat in silence, piecing everything together. Last time, satellite surveillance showed a minor earthquake at the Grand Canyon. Could the ancient ruins have opened a spatial wormhole again? Did Edward return to Earth through it, bringing that alien woman with him? A level 20 being could crush Earth's entire military with ease. Yet she's just watching from the sidelines, with no intent to intervene. She didn't come all this way just to go sightseeing, right? And exactly 2 months. How suspicious is that? Maybe Edward struck some kind of secret deal with her. Maybe he has to become Earth's ruler in 2 months to gain something. There had to be some kind of reward waiting. Something powerful enough to make even someone like Edward desperate. And what if I became Earth's president instead? Could there be a surprise waiting for me too? He chuckled. Feels like opening a mystery box. Kind of fun. If I really became Earth's leader, my first law would be, the president can marry as many wives as he wants. No limit. But regular folks? One spouse only. Double standards? You bet. Haha, just kidding maybe. Still, it might just be a real opportunity. Let Edward do all the work. Then, when he's close to unifying the planet, Qian Yuan could swoop in and take over. But what if he couldn't beat Edward in the end? He still lacked enough enhancement points. Time flew. 5 days passed quickly. During those days, Qian Yuan kept visiting the film set, every chance he got, to show off in front of the alien beauty. First, he had someone bring in the world's best-sounding grand piano. Then he gave himself a new piano scene in the script. After all, he controlled the script. He poured his heart into the performance. Everyone was captivated, except Bai Yu11. Her favorability rating didn't budge. Must be the wrong approach, he muttered. So next, he added a basketball scene. One phone call later, the national basketball team showed up on set. In front of over 1,000 staff, he played a full match and crushed the pros without anyone going easy on him. The crowd went wild. Actresses screamed like fangirls. But Bai Yu11? Still cold. Still unmoved. Zero favorability. The next day, he showcased his dancing, violin playing, and Oscar-worthy acting skills. On the third day, he invited China's chess grandmaster and beat him, just barely, in a live match. The entire set was stunned. But the alien girl? Still calm, like she was watching a monkey perform tricks. Then came ping pong, badminton, rap battles, medical demonstrations, math lectures, physics, chemistry, biology, design. He practically opened a full-blown superstar training academy. And finally, the heavens showed mercy. After all that effort, ding, by U11, favorability +1. Current favorability, 1 point. Chen Yuan nearly cried. That 1 point had taken everything. He had never met a girl this hard to impress. So much effort, only for 1 point? Ding. Target, Jiang Minying, original simp target. Favorability surpassed 95. Congratulations, host has officially reversed the relationship status. Ding. Host has spent 5 billion yuan on this target. Reward, 500 million rebate. Ding. Rewards, plus 50 enhancement points. Ding. Skill boosts, violin mastery, acting mastery, singing mastery, lyric writing, music composition, directing. Ding. Total remaining enhancement points, 700. Huh. I was trying to impress the alien girl. But in the end, it's Jiang Minying who got swept off her feet. Guess the saying's true. You try to pick a flower and fail, but the willow you ignored grows into a tree. Jiang Minying had seen plenty of talented people before. She'd been in high society long enough. But this? Chen Yuan's talent overflowed. There seemed to be nothing he couldn't do. And he wasn't just good at those things, he had mastered them. Was all this meant to make me admire him? She wondered. The show-off act is obvious, but even knowing it, I can't help but admire him. After what happened with Bai Wendong, I thought I'd lost all faith in men. I used to hate womanizers the most. But Chen Yuan's just dazzling. Am I secretly falling for him? Am I one of those women who say one thing but feel another? At 27 years old, Jiang Minying had long stopped chasing romantic fantasies. She'd seen too much. With experience comes apathy. Eventually, every man starts to look the same. But now, something inside her stirred again. That long-lost flutter of excitement. Boss, we've got trouble. Yang Sison suddenly ran over in a panic. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.